The NBA free agency officially starts today. Players can begin signing with teams 6 p.m. Eastern time this evening. A lot of groundwork, though, has already been laid yesterday. Players having until 5 p.m. to opt out of deals, including LeBron James, who did, declining the final year of his current deal with LA to the tune of $51.4 million. His agent, Rich Paul, says James wants a better roster in LA and will work with them to make that happen, even if that means a pay cut, as we use quotation marks. Pay cut. Oh, Woj in the building. His Super Bowl. Phone's about to go crazy this morning and throughout the day. Woj, what does this mean now for the Lakers with James opting out?
Well, he's going to sign a new deal regardless with the Lakers. He'll get a chance to play with Bronny, and he'll decide how the length of that deal. He can do a 3-year, $162 million deal. He could do a 1+1. But there's a sense probably LeBron James starts to really take this year to year. But what he's telling the Lakers is if they can find an impact player at the mid-level exception, about $13 million, whether that's a Klay Thompson, a James Harden, a Jonas Valanciunas, maybe a couple others. This is not a star-laden free agency class. He will take less on his contract to allow the Lakers to add that exception into their payroll. Right now, he's due to make about $50 million plus with his new deal. He'd have to take about $20 million less for the Lakers to have their full mid-level exception. But James Harden, he's going to get more than double that probably to return to the Clippers. Valanciunas, Klay Thompson, there's certainly other options for them. It's not going to be easy for the Lakers, whether LeBron is willing to take a pay cut or not, to land an impact player at that spot, but he said he's willing to do it.
And how long is he giving the Lakers to work with a potential timeline? Because now James has to tune up for the Olympics in Vegas here in a couple of weeks, right? So he probably wants to divert his attention. Well,
the market itself, these kinds of players are probably going to come off the board pretty quickly in free agency. So I don't know that it's going to be a real relevant point about when camp is. These kind of deals with these kind of players tend to move within the first 2-3 days at the latest.
Okay, it's going to get active. Let's stay in LA. Something Paul George potentially might not do is he now opts out of his year there. So what are some options now for PG?
Well, number one, he's going to meet with the Clippers. He's going to meet with the Philadelphia 76ers, who are a significant threat to lure him away, and also the Orlando Magic, who also have the cap space along with Philly to sign Paul George. He and the Clippers have been negotiating for a year. They haven't gotten there on a deal. The Clippers got there on a 3-year deal below the max with Kawhi Leonard. They want to do the same kind of deal with Paul George. There's a new collective bargaining agreement. There's a new salary cap, and the Clippers feel like they've got to take those players at a little bit less to put a group around them that's good enough to win. And you've also got players in their mid-30s. What they've not wanted to do is do a 4th year on a Paul George deal. I think if they had, he might already have committed back there. And so certainly right now in Philadelphia, in Orlando, their willingness to go to a 4th year makes those very attractive destinations for him. If the Clippers were going to offer that 4th year, they probably would have already. But for Paul George to walk away from L.A., that's home. His family is there. He went back to the Clippers because he wanted to be there. Not easy, but he's going to meet with the Clippers, Magic, Sixers, or Clippers, Magic, Sixers, beginning late tonight and then into Monday.
6 p.m. Eastern, they can start signing as soon as Woj hears something. So too will you. Thanks, Woj.
Thanks, Gary.
The NBA's free agency starting at 6 p.m. Eastern time tonight. As a matter of fact, that's when teams can begin negotiating with all free agents. LeBron James opting out with the Lakers. Bobby Marks, our NBA front office insider, is with us. Okay, so he's opting out. What happens? What's the domino effect, the impact on the franchise if he decides to stay with LA at a reduced, sort of a major pay cut for LeBron?
Well, I think the number to focus on was right now we have it at $135 million in payroll. They need to be below 179 to be able to go out and get a player like Klay Thompson using their $13 million exception. That's why the LeBron discount has to happen. And when you look at it and we slide him in here, that gets him up to 163.
How are you getting at the 28 number? You just
we're putting it down from, he could make 50.
Yeah.
We're taking a $22 million haircut.
Okay.
That's a big discount.
Okay, that's on us describing it to him. Like, is LeBron waking up going, whoa, hold on.
No, he knows about it.
Yeah.
He knows that if he's going to get a player like Klay Thompson, it's coming at the discount.
Okay.
So it's a $22 million discount, and then when you slide Clay in there, that keeps you under the 179 number there. That's the only way that they're going to go out and do that unless they trade a player like D'Angelo Russell. Got to take a haircut.
And Russell's already opted in.
Yep.
But they could move. Ostensibly, they could move D'Lo if they had to, but this puts him at 176. A little bit of breathing room.
179.
Yeah,
that's the number.
179 is the number. Okay, what about Paul George? Elsewhere in
Well,
LA?
certainly Philadelphia is going to be the wild card, and certainly in the driver's seat here. When you look at the Sixers, they've got the cap space.
Okay.
They can just go out and sign him outright. 4 years, $212 million. They don't have to make a trade. Sign and trade is off the table here. They'll hard cap themselves. Paul George, you slide him in there. We put him in there.
Yeah.
And they still have $14 million in room to go out. They can get one player with that. They can get the room exception at $8 million. You start building your roster on Embiid, George, and Maxey, Jared McCain. It's a nice fit here. But Philadelphia, that's the team to keep an eye on today.
They're chasing the green. Everybody in the Eastern Conference chasing the Boston Celtics. They have that green number working in their favor. They have that breathing room with the salary cap. Bobby Marks making us smarter on SportsCenter.